Hi guys, I just received this package through the post, and I believe it is my British Airways Concorde aircraft, so let's get it out and see what it's like. It's fairly well packaged. You can see a little thank you letter from LoveJet. Wow, that is fabulous looking. Look at that. This looks very, very exciting. Got a very, very elegant box for this model, as do all Gemini Jets airplanes. Right then. So you can see its Concorde is printed on the side as well. It's got some printing on the back, which you can pause and read if you really like. And there's the other side. There's the back, and there's the front. So let's get it out. I think. How do I get it out? Out. So this is just a little lid here. So this doesn't. We can't take out the plane like this, but it's just a little lid where we can see into the box, which is quite cool of them actually. Looks really exciting already. You can see there's some writing on the top of the lid there, which again you can pause and read if you want. It's just talking about the history of the Concorde. Here we are. So it's got a little plastic sheet on top to protect it. But wow, look at this. Isn't this just truly fabulous of a plane? Look at this, wow. Wow, this is just totally fabulous. Look at this. What a wonderful airplane. It's really, really well detailed. I think Gemini Jets have done an exceptional job with this airplane. The engines in particular are really, really detailed, which is nice. Right then. I've got the stand out. There we are, that's it on its stand, and we can just put the landing gears on it now. So what they also tend to do is they give you another little packet here, and these are the landing gear door covers if in case you want the plane on an in-flight position instead of having its landing gears out. And you might be able to see they've given you a little, like almost like a toothpicker thing there. I think that's to just pick the doors out in case you put them in and you can't get them out. But there we are. You just open the packet for the landing gears. So as you can see, there's our first one here. I'll just zoom in. There's our first landing gear, very detailed. There's the one on the other side. This one seems to be the nose landing gear. Yeah, it's got the AB shorthand livery on there as well. It's very nicely detailed. And the special thing about the Concorde is that it has a rear landing gear as well, so to prevent tail strikes. So it's a bit difficult to show this one because it's so small, but there we are. This is the one that goes on the back of the plane. So I'll just attach them right now. Now Gemini jets do a really good job on the landing gears because all you have to do is just put the landing gears in the slots, and because they're magnetic they'll just fix themselves into their slots, and you don't have to glue them whatsoever, which means that you can just take them off if you want and put the door covers on there if you want instead. There we are. Almost like a space shuttle ship, doesn't it? With the engines. Alright, I'll put it back on the stand before I drop it. We won't want that, will we? There we go. Wow, this looks absolutely fabulous, doesn't it? Look at this. It's crazy to think that these were actually flying aircrafts and that they just don't really fly anymore these days. Could get you from London to New York in 3 or 4 hours. Nowadays it takes like 6 or 7. But yeah, let's look at the plane then. So we'll start at the cockpit. Set the focus onto the cockpit so you can see it. Now you see that they've kind of got 2 cockpit windows. There's one that's sort of collapsed down into the nose, and another one that's just on the fuselage. And let me see if I can... How do I... The nose does move, but I don't want to break it, so I'm not sure how to how to sort of fix it into its upright position. Yeah, I don't want to break it, but I'm not sure how to sort of droop the nose down. But basically the real Concorde, this long nose section would point downwards a bit more than I think it is right now, and that's so that the pilots can see out of their cockpit window here for taxiings and landings and takeoffs and things like that. However, when they needed the aerodynamic performance, such as in supersonic flight, they would raise this little glass bit that's sitting down here upwards, so it just connects the top of this bit down to there, and then that enhances the aerodynamic profile of the plane, so then it can cruise at Mach 2 with minimal resistance. So if we look at the front of the left side, we can see the first door right here. Another really nice detail is that they've added the One World logo there as well, which I didn't actually know they had on the Concorde, but I guess One World did exist back then. They've got the British Airways logo here, not as big as on other British Airways aircrafts, but you know, the Concorde has a very narrow fuselage, so they couldn't print it that big, but still very elegantly printed on there. We've got the nose landing gear, except from it's not really at the nose, is it? But it's got the shorthand registration AB at the bottom there. The reason, the one thing with the Concorde is that because the nose landing gear, if you can even call it a nose landing gear, is because it's so far back from the front of the plane, like front of the plane's not even on camera. There we are. Because there's such a great distance from the front, it was very difficult for the pilots to actually steer, because their steering gear was actually behind the cockpit, which is not the case on most aircrafts these days. But yeah. If we move along the aircraft now, we can see we've got another door just over the wing. I'm not sure if they ever used this door because it seems like it would be a bit difficult to board from if you've got the wing here with a jet bridge. And I'm not sure if they ever performed an evacuation on a Concorde flight, but I guess, you know, there is a door here, so they'll probably be able to run off the wing in the event of an emergency. But we've got more windows here. Again, very, very small windows because, you know, it is a supersonic aircraft, so, you know, it's got to meet its standards of being able to cruise at Mach 2. I think it's Mach 2.1 actually. Someone will know. I don't know. I think it's at least Mach 2. And then we've got the rear door here as well. Again, all of these very, very small, and the doors are quite small as well. Now at the back of the aircraft, we've got the registration here, G-BOAB. So I think this is one of 6 Concordes that the British Airways had, and I think Air France had the other 6, something like that. And then as we can see, again, like we talked about before, we've got the rear landing gear as well. Again, a very, very rare feature on an aircraft to have a rear landing gear like this, but, you know, to prevent tail strikes upon landing and things like that, it's a necessary feature. Towards the end of Concorde service, they did change all the British Airways liveries to this new Union flag livery, rather than, I think it was the Landor livery which they had before this livery. But there, as you can see, we've got the Union tail on the vertical stabilizer, which is very, very elegantly printed on. If I show you the very, very back of the aircraft. I think the focus is... It's almost so small that focus isn't working, but you can see they've painted the very, very end of the fuselage in a slightly silverish colour there. I'm not sure if the Concorde had an APU, but it might have done. But yeah, there we are. So now let's quickly go on to the other side. So, like again, we can see, oh, I think this might be the APU. This looks more like it, but yeah, who knows. As we can see, we've got the Union tail again, and hang on a second. That's interesting. One thing I've just noticed is that if we look at the horizontal stabilizer, we can see that for some reason there's a, I don't even know what it's called, but there's a little bit there, but on the other side it's at a different height, like that and that. So I'm not too sure what that's about. Maybe I'll look it up. I'll see if it's actually a feature of the Concorde or whether Gemini jets have put it on their model. It's a focus knot we're going. Alright, sorry about that. So as you can see, door at the back, more windows, another door. For some reason this door's really low, which I don't think was the case on the other side, but there we go. And we've got the British Airways logo again, we've got the landing gear, and then we've got the British Airways ribbon, very, very elegantly printed on at the front. And we can just see a side-on view of the cockpit there. Very, very aerodynamic nose. There must be a way to make this go down, but I'm not sure how to do it. So if we look at the engines now, because Concorde had very, very special engines, don't forget, and for some reason the engine covers are not the same, they're not laid out in the same way, but maybe I can, oh, I think, yeah, they do move about a little bit, so this feels very, very delicate. Oh, I think, yeah, they're kind of a bit closer together now. Maybe it was meant to be like that. I mean, I think when they want to thrust forwards, I'm sure the rear side would have been open like that, so the thrust can come back out the back. But yeah, so something like, oh my god, so something like that. But it's a bit fiddly, this, but I think Gemini jets have done a great job with the detail here. Like very, they've got intricate moving parts on the plane like this. Very cool detail. If you guys get this sort of model, be careful not to break these, because I can imagine these feel really delicate. I've done the same on the other side too, here as well. So I'm just going to align these to what I think is the position they're in, like on takeoff and during cruise control, or cruise flight. Oh dear. It's not easy. Oh, there we are. That's probably how I'm meant to do it. There we are. That looks a lot better. Right, and I think I'll move the camera for this, just because I don't want to move the plane around so much, but we can see the top of the wings here. They're very uniquely delta shaped wings. We've got some markings just outside there. I'm not sure what it is. Let's see. Oh, it just says do not walk in this area, so obviously something's beneath there that, you know, people shouldn't be walking on. There's not much else on the wing. There's a few other markings, but yeah, it's a very nice shape. Wonderful, very beautiful. And let's now show the underside. So there we go. This is the underside of the aircraft. So we can see it's got the registration G-BOAB on the right hand side. We've got some very detailed markings on all the engines. You can see danger signs, warnings, things like that. Even the small text is really printed on in great detail. The Gemini jets have done a wonderful job at printing all the detail on here. Absolutely fabulous. We've got the Gemini Jets logo in the middle there. Nice to see that. And then, oh, one thing I've noticed is just at the front here, they've got like loads of different markings on them. I'm not sure what they're even for, really. We've obviously got the nose landing gear door just where my thumb is here. But along towards the nose, we've got all sorts of other markings. And I don't know what they are, but the detail is immaculate on this model. Perhaps someone in the comments will know what these are for. But yeah, this is wonderful. We've even got the metal antennas on the top and bottom of the aircraft, which you don't always see on model airplanes. For example, Hogan wings don't print the antennas on, but Gemini jets and all the die-cast models tend to do that. So. But yeah, I think that's all I have to show for this model. I'm sorry I didn't know how to operate the nose of the cockpit. Seems really delicate and I'm not sure, I just don't want to really break it, so yeah, I'll figure that out at some point. But yeah, absolutely wonderful model, money well spent this is. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching and have a good day.